Parshas Naso opens with the different roles that the Leviim had. And when we look at the Leviim, we look at them as the prototypes of Avodas Hashem. They were the ones chosen to work in the Beis HaMikdash, the Kohanim, the Leviim. They were the ones, Mila Hashem Elai, they stepped over to serve Hashem. And they're the ones that the Rambam famously writes, are the ones who we can choose to be like as well, in every generation. Anyone who wishes to be an Eved Hashem takes Shevet Levi as their prototype, their example of how to serve Hashem. When we look carefully at the Parsha, we see that even the Leviim themselves were divided into three different groups. The first group, which was at the end of last week's Parsha, was Kahas. Kahas, the first group of the Leviim, they had one role. The second group, at the beginning of this week's Parsha, is Bnei Gershon, and they had a separate role. And then the Parsha continues with Bnei Merari, a third role. Let's look at each of their roles. Bnei Kahas, they had what seems to be the most lofty role. They were carrying the Aron HaKodesh, they were carrying the Holy Kelim, and when the Pasuk refers to them, and it describes what their avodah is, it says, Zos avodas Bnei Kahas bo'el moed, Kodesh HaKodeshim. So you see the Bnei Kahas, they have an avodah, just like the other Levim have an avodah, but they were Zoche, and their avodah is Kodesh Kodashim. Then we move on to Bnei Gershon, at the beginning of this week's Parsha. And here too, it describes what their avodah is. And their avodah has an element of holiness, but also has an element of burden. Zos avodas mishpachos hagershoni, la'avod u'lamasa. So the truth is that the Bnei Kahas were also carrying, but it didn't say by them masa, because they saw their carrying, their avodas Hashem was all avodas Hashem, Kodesh Kodashim. When it comes to Bnei Gershon, then they're carrying the paroches, they're carrying the other kelim that are used in avodas Hashem. They didn't sense that same Kodesh Kodashim. It was la'avod and it was lamasa. They were doing avodas Hashem, it was also carrying a weight. By the time we get to Merari, they were carrying the wood, the planks that they built the Mishkan with. Here it doesn't say at all that they had an avodah. It just says masa. When it describes the work of the Shevet of Merari, v'zos mishmeres masam, they had the job of carrying l'chol avodasam. But the main description is masa. So you see here that in avodas Hashem there are many elements. There's the element which the feeling is it's Kodesh Kodashim. There's the element which is holy, but it's also a burden. And there's the element which is all a burden. It's just carrying heavy weights. And it's like that for us in life. Sometimes we have this sense that I want to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I feel like I'm on a high. All my avodas Hashem is Kodesh Kodashim. I'm serving Hashem and I feel a connection. Sometimes we have times in our avodas Hashem where we feel connected, but we also feel like it's a burden. We go through periods like that as well. And there are times as well where all our avodas Hashem seems mar, like Bnei Merari. It seems like it's just carrying heavy weights. And we're not able to even see the avodas Hashem. You know, the planks of wood, they were covered afterwards with the parochas. They didn't even see the avodah. It's just the burden, we don't even get to see the avodah. And we ask ourselves, when we're in a time of Bnei Merari, what did I do to deserve this? Hashem, I want to be close to you. I want to be in the Kodesh HaKodashim. Why am I here carrying this heavy burden? There's a beautiful pasuk at the end. The final pasuk, when it's finished describing all of the avodah of the Shevet HaLeviim, and it repeats again that they have to be between age 30 and age 50, it gathers everyone together. And it says, Kol haba la'avod, avodas avoda, va'avodas masa, bo'el moed. Everyone comes. Those who are serving the higher level of avodah, and those who are carrying the burden, avodas masa. It's all avodas Hashem. Al pi Hashem pakadotam. Kadosh Baruch Hu counts everyone. Ish el avodaso va'al masa'o. You see that it's precious in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the avodah that everyone gets. We don't always choose in life which specific avodas Hashem we're going to get. Sometimes we're zoche, and our avodas Hashem that we're involved in is Kodesh HaKodashim, and sometimes it seems to us like we're not zoche, and our avodas Hashem seems like a burden. It seems like a masa. But in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, everyone is precious. Everyone is chosen by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu groups them all in together. It was all determined by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And as long as we realize that what we're doing is avodas Hashem, As long as we don't get caught up in the details of what Avodas Hashem is, but we recognize whatever lot HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given me, I'm happy with my lot. I'm contributing my part. And I recognize that I'm finding favor in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, giving HaKadosh Baruch Hu nachas ruach, then we can work together. And we can be satisfied that we're all one shevet. One shevet with different roles, but one shevet working together. Limtzo chen b'nei Hashem. Have a wonderful Shabbos.